Morning, everyone. This is right stop well everyone for a special annual meeting of the Sutphin Boulevard bid, which will now be known as the Downtown Jamaica bid. Before I proceed to introduce certain people individually, I just want to take this opportunity to remind you that you will be given voting. Should be given approximately 3 voting cards. Make sure that you vote. I also would like to take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Michael Hershen and Aaron Schwartz of Jamaica Avenue and 165th Street. I would like to also take this opportunity to introduce Jerome Hart and Sarah Nordman of Town Square. He was already here. And Calvin Brown, Raquel Oliveras, Emily Edwards of SBS. And the following officials, I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce them as well. From council members, Natasha Williams' office, there should be a representative here from that office. And from the borough president's office, a representative here as well as the controller's office. And I would also like to introduce Mr. Greenwich from the Sutphin Boulevard bid, and as well as Derek Irby of 165th Street, and Giovanni Alluri of Jamaica Avenue. Please note that this is the first meeting of the newly expanded bid. We will hear more about that process later in the week. Before we proceed any further, I would like to take this opportunity for us to proceed to then take a vote with respect to the minutes of the last meeting that we had in December of 2021. So we do have a quorum. There is a quorum. At this time, the first item of business will be to approve the minutes of our previous meeting, which had taken place in December of 2021. At this time, I'm asking for someone to make a motion for us to adopt those minutes from the December of 2021 meeting that we had. Is there a motion on the floor to adopt those minutes? I'm sorry?
Do we have a copy of those minutes?
Yes, a copy of those minutes were provided. Is there a motion to second that?
Second.
Is anyone opposed to that? In light of the fact that there's no one that is opposing the motion that has been made, at this time, the motion, so the minutes have been approved. Sorry. Oh, okay, is that the way you want to do it? time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear from Mr. Calvin Brown, the Commissioner of the Department of Small Business Services.
Valid. And good morning, everyone. My name is Calvin Brown. I'm the Deputy Commissioner at the Neighborhood Development at the Department of Small Business Services. And I want to welcome all of you here today. And on behalf of my Commissioner, Kevin Kim, I want to thank you all for being valued partners. So much support has been given to small businesses and the downtown Jamaica Commercial District by Jamaica Center, by 65th Street, and the Sutphin Boulevard bid. This is a special occasion. This expanded bid will allow you all to make this a greater downtown Jamaica bid and business improvement district. We want to make sure that SPS will continue to support you all and support this expanded bid so that you can do and continue the work that you have been doing to support the small businesses. So just wanted to bring greetings from SPS and to let you know that we're continuing to support you on this journey to create a greater downtown Jamaica. Thank you.
The staff of the three different organizations consolidation. Next slide, please. So here's a very condensed timeline of the consolidation. You can see in June 2nd of last year, the City Council passed Local Law 70, which allowed for the consolidation of the two special assessment districts and one business district to one combined geography, which took effect on January 1st, 2023. Today, the monumental moment, what was the Sutphin Boulevard bid is now hosting its annual meeting to bring together membership from three different geographies to go forth as the downtown Jamaica bid. And then next month or in a week or two, we will hold a full board meeting of the new elected directors and select board officers such as chair, vice chair. Going forth beyond that, or will be responsible for selecting an executive director to lead the consolidated organization. And the respective remaining boards of the nonprofits that have been set aside from the bid and the nonprofit that operates them are two distinct entities. The remaining nonprofits will file for their dissolution and make plans for their assets to be distributed. So next slide, please. You can see, and I will introduce my colleague Jerome Barth to come up here and speak to you about other considerations.
And I realize that for many members in the room, this is a moment that I think a long time. Think the participation and the desire for the process to be faster. However, it's your first time in the city of New York that three bids are consolidated in such a way, and both SBS and us try to move this as smooth and as safe as possible. So we took our time in going step by step, and today is very important. So the two things we're going to do today are really to vote the new board of directors and to vote the new bylaws of the combined organization to allow it to pursue business. But as was mentioned, January 1st, the bid was consolidated. What does that mean? That means that even though the other two previous organizations remain as legal entities, they no longer have a contract with the city of New York. They're no longer really business improvement district. There's only one business improvement district now, which would be known as the Jamaica Improvement District. The assessment that all the property owners are paying for their participation in the bid should be going down on average. On a case-by-case, properties may be different. As always, the combined assessment of the three business improvement districts was a little bit above $1.5 million. Last fiscal year, this year it's going to be, you see on the screen here, $1.35 million. And there was broad outreach to all the members of all the three districts so that they could register as members of this new EA. So that's the process that's coming. Next slide, please. Okay. A lot of the reason why the administrative process went about this way because essentially two organizations were being sunsetted was why there was not a new organization that came out of, that started over. This was really a decision to use one of the existing legal bodies to make this happen. And so today you're going to be voting in a minute on both slates and the bylaws, which were approved by the Sutphin Boulevard bid, since was the remaining organization, at board meetings on the 15th and 26th of March, respectively. And once the membership votes done, then they become effective for the entire year. Other things to mention is that at this time, the services such as communications that are provided by the other bids are now being managed under the new structure. And this there is and it has been continued service to the downtown. So, and as I mentioned, the assets will be distributed, most likely to be allocated to the new bid. And next slide. So in the new structures, and this will be this will inform the voting in a second. The bid has different classes of membership. You have property owners, which own real property. You have business owners who are tenants that have a lease. You have residential tenants. Here we actually don't have residential tenants in the district. Get one. And finally, you have elected officials and representatives of the public, such as the community board. So each constitutes different kinds of membership. And in the case of this district, except for the Class E members, everybody votes equally at the level. And that's it. Any questions?
You mentioned it's going to be meeting.
Certainly, we can take that into consideration. All right, next up is Michael Herschel, who's going to tell us about some exciting happenings on Jamaica Avenue and news by the Department of Transportation investment in the neighborhood. Thank you so much.
Okay, good morning, and again, thank you for being here. I am Michael Herschel, worked on the Jamaica Center Board since 2003, as well as president the past 15 or so years. As you know, the Jamaica Avenue pavers have been a major issue for a very, very long time. Thankfully, the consolidated bid no longer will have that responsibility for these pavers. Mayor Adams announced at the State of the City address on January 26th that his administration would commit to a full reconstruction of Jamaica Avenue from Sutphin Boulevard to Merrick Boulevard in Jamaica as part of a $375 million investment in various public spaces in the city of New York. That section of the speech makes reference to the new New York Action Plan, which has a longer section on Jamaica that reads in part, conduct street and sidewalk repairs and reconstruction with standard materials on Jamaica Avenue between Sutphin Boulevard and 169th Street, and repair and expand the sidewalks where appropriate with standard materials. DOT went further on to say that we also look to add things that will enhance pedestrian safety and accessibility, things like curb extensions, raised crosswalks, as well as streetscape look and feel through lighting, landscaping, greenery, and public space. We have a lot of rich content and insights from the Jamaica Now effort, which helped inform the need for and the design of the nearly completed Parsons public space construction. We are eager to start reaching out to folks and building on the Jamaica Now visionary that was done prior to the pandemic, and will be working with the BP and other stakeholders to hear about the types of improvements the community, business, workers, commuters, and others would like to see as part of the $62 million project. This is all great news and contributes to our optimistic future for Jamaica Avenue. At this time, the members will now elect their newly enlarged board. Derek Irby will come up and handle that process for us there. Thank you. Can you ask a question? I know nothing about the sidewalk things. I was privileged to speak. Go ahead.
Well, the business improvement district is still in place now, and they're still working really hard like this. So there is going on, contact with the agency, police department, and all these organizations that affect the outcome of the business. So we're still doing our work as we're unified. Right, that's the first annual meeting. You created it. Questions after the meeting? We just want to stick to the agenda right now, if you don't mind. Is that okay? We'll answer any questions you have after the meeting. We're just trying to stick to the agenda right now. And there'll be time to ask questions after the meeting. And all the questions are very valid and very important, and that's why we're here. And so this time, I will be doing the vote for the slate for memberships for Class A. We're going to do all the votes for each class. Right now, you can see this is the slate of nominees for Class A slate for property owners. Property owners have a green vote. So at this time, I would like to know all in favor for the slate.
You have a green card.
All opposed? Any
You have a
abstention?
green card.
Any abstention?
That's it.
Their comments have been elected. Okay, great. Now we're going to move on to Class B members, commercial tenants. There are 4 nominees you can see, and they hold the yellow card. So, all in favor for electing the slate of Class B commercial tenants,
Anyone with a yellow card?
yellow card? One opposed? The abstention? Great. Congratulations. Now, this is Class C number votes for residential. As you heard earlier, we don't have any residential members on the board yet, but we definitely want to look into that for next time because we think it's a very important part of the community. We think about a lot. So if you're a resident and no resident, I've met a couple today, please give us your vote. We'll take questions. The next one is Class D members, elected officials, which is each, but they're not subject to vote. So this is more appointed. So there's no all in favor. So they're appointed by the city. They're not elected.
You're subject to vote by the general.
Right. Right. And the last class is Class E members, and these are other interested parties. There are two nominees in the slate, as you see. They have a blue card, Yvonne. And anybody want to nominate this slate? I'm sorry, approve this slate. Sorry.
Anyone with a blue card that is
Yvonne.
blue.
Yvonne. Blue card. So now we have elected the new board of directors for the downtown Jamaica bid. Congratulations. And the first order of business, you have to speak with better name. Dumpy.
The official bylaws were crafted in 2004 when the organization, that is the Sutphin Boulevard District Management Association, was formed, and nonprofit law has changed since then. There are a few changes to note. Video calls and emails are now allowable to conduct formal business. With its new higher assessment, the organization is now obligated to create and implement a whistleblower policy. The Sutphin board inserted a clause that there must always be at least one representative on the board from Sutphin Boulevard, one from 165th Street, and one from Jamaica Avenue to maintain fair representation. The Sutphin board chose to implement a maximum vote size of 25 members. The Sutphin board voted in these new bylaws at its meeting on March 21st. The bylaws were emailed to all registered members ahead of the meeting. There are also copies for review at the check-in table outside. So now the bylaws must be approved by the membership. Can I get a motion to approve the bylaws? Okay, can I get a second? Thank you. All in favor? Yeah, please hold up your white card. Thank you. And bylaws are approved. Yay. Then we'll come up here and walk us through the audited financials.
Good morning. So, every year, our financials are audited by an independent audit. And the audit has been conducted by Aston Bell and Associates. We have approximately, net assets, net assets of almost 280,000, which is more than a year of operation, scale of organization prior to the consolidation. We have printed copies of the full audit. They're available. If people- And now, I'd like to welcome Aaron Schwartz to give announcements and closing remarks.
I am Aaron Schwartz, been on the executive committee of both 165th Street and Jamaica Center for over 25 years. I get to say what everyone wants to hear in conclusion. But our next board meeting is going to be sometime in April, at which time we're going to be electing the officers and also voting on the budget for the bid for the next coming fiscal year. Before we end, there are some people and organizations that we'd like to acknowledge and thank. We'd like to first start by thanking fellow board members from all three bids. This has been a long road. We've accomplished a lot, and I look forward to working with everybody and achieving great things for Jamaica. I also want to thank the staff of the three bids, John Villaluri of the Jamaica Center bid, Derek Irby of the 165th Street bid, and Glenn Greenidge of the Sutphin Boulevard. I also want to thank Whitney Barrett, who was hired as consultant by the Jamaica Center bid to assist during this transaction period, and she did so much more than she was retained to actually do. I ask the four of you to please stand up, and thank you. I also want to thank our elected officials for your support, Town Square for the work that you did in getting us to this point, and of course, SBS and all of your support in the system. In order to adjourn, I need somebody to please make a motion to adjourn. Okay, seconded, thank you. All in favor? I assume nobody's opposing. You're opposing? You're absolutely correct. I guess members of, well, before you started off, I'd rather get people who could probably answer your questions, and maybe if the three staff members of the bids come up here so that they could address your questions.
So the residential is a representative of a building that is in the district, in the bid district.
Okay, so you can
the confines of Sutphin Boulevard, all the way down Jamaica, 165th Street, all the way to 159.
Okay, so when you.
Yeah. No, just Suffolk and Jamaica Avenue,
Okay.
all the way down to 169.
Okay, so that's the new thing.
Yeah, everything that's green is.
No, just side down to 94.
Oh, it was up.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
all right, thank you. Thank you for that.
Trestle, well, so when, well, we did outreach and we sent, well, so thing is that you have to vote. So if you're, if your building is in the district, you get a vote just like everybody else in terms of what's going on. So you get to find out, any new, campaigns, any new development, any new, things that would impact the district.
So,
And I'm sorry, and also the quality of life issues are also very important part of this, that we're trying to create cleaner streets, safer streets, better, a variety of stores that you can shop at. To make your downtown someplace you want to come back to, as opposed to moving somewhere else and maybe up before you get home. Well, that's what we're trying to change.
and then.
No, but what I'm saying is that that's the kind of issue that you would bring up to the station, that director would then take that input, based on the district. When it's formulated, we will do. we have a representative of city council that is part of the board that has a vote.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they come to all the board meetings, and they're very proactive.
So it's also an opportunity to let the city council person know what they can do to support the bid.
Well, we just hope that you stay active. I think your input is very important. I think hope you stay active and, you know, you don't have to wait until, you can contact us anytime. I can give you my information before you leave, and you can contact any of us. And we can, work with you because you raised some very important concerns and issues.
Councilwoman Kathy Williams. Councilwoman, Kathy Williams is also pushing very hard to get some, closure on it in terms of, are they gonna repeal it completely or reduce the hours? So, I mean, they're fully engaged with Department of Transportation about it. And they understand that the businesses are not happy with the impact that it's had.
And the unfortunate thing about that is that we found out when we
Talk about how
town hall individually over the years. So this would be good to do another one. Look, the website. Check our website. We announce these on our website.
because if you're a business looking to come into downtown Jamaica, you'd have to understand that there were 3 bids, not knowing which one to contact. So you call up all 3 or so the consolidation really makes it a little easier for businesses who are coming to the district to point of contact for services and so forth. So that was also part of the looking in terms of consolidation. Like to add something. Well, if you look at the community board, they all suggested to use Archer Avenue. So, would be, however, this is just me saying this, I believe that the impetus for Jamaica Avenue was to make sure that we had gotten a bad review about the bus, how long bus traveling throughout the city. So they were looking to address that issue rather than the businesses and the impact, the economic impact. So that's language, but not
In addition,
larger board of to engage with the city communication. So that's part of the way.
and addressing. So, we welcome, the. Those concerns. Representatives here, they are looking for a resident, board members, so like this going back to your community. They are posting their stuff on the website. We want the community to participate so that they can voice those concerns collectively, not just one just saying they have a problem or this is the thing, but the bid representing all of the communities here.
right, I time, I think that we're gonna close down the meeting and we'll be around. If anybody wants to have a conversation with us, don't want to hold people up in the meeting because the meeting was scheduled in time. So if you have any questions, we'll be around and you can talk to us with questions. So this last question. Yeah, last question.
So the way that these work, the boundary that is mapped and legislated, so anything that happens within the boundary, they become part. And then I would just echo, like, if there are concerns, channel them to the bid, they bring them back to SPS, they bring them back to the borough president, they bring them back to. And then we, as city agency, representatives of these districts, we can elevate them. It's not, we set the expectations, sometimes we may not get responsive, and we're gonna have to fight, or we're gonna have to work together, where SPS is gonna have to work with the borough president, or we're gonna have to communicate to the council members to sort of, champion some of these concerns. But by handling these concerns to these representatives, then you have this one voice to sort of act collectively. Yeah. So
And the good news about this, we're all on the same page here. I think this is what we all want. We all want to see, things improve. And so, on that note, I think we should close the meeting. And we'll be around. If I want to speak to us, get our information, we'll be around. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you.